Fluid power system, module 4, pneumatic control system. In that one we are going to take the actuator parts. Disclaimer. This PPT has been prepared by referring many sources which include figures, diagram from internet as well as from the prescribed textbooks and reference books. I do not claim any originality in preparing this video or PPT. This PPT or video is exclusively for purpose of education, not for any financial gains. I wholeheartedly thank all those who have directly or indirectly contributed to do this PPT and video. Valves is a device controlling the direction, pressure, rate of flow of air delivered by compressor to the actuator. The input valve is a component which is used in the system to direct the air supplied from compressor to actuator from one branch to other branch of the system, or regulate the pressure and to reduce or increase the flow rate of the air which is passing through that particular valve. The functions are they control the start and stop of pneumatic energy to power units. These kind of valves are used to stop or to start the pneumatic air supply, nothing but pneumatic energy supply from one point to other point, or to stop in that particular point which will be used. They provide direction of flow of compressed air. It is used to change the direction of compressed air which is flowing through the system, means towards the uh, piston end of the actuator or rod end of the actuator. Next, they control the flow rate of the compressed air. The flow rate will be very important because the actuator speed will be depends on the flow rate of the input air supply. So if we reduce the air supply using a regulating flow control valve, the actuator speed will be reduced. If we increase the air supply, so actuator speed will be increased. They control the pressure rating of the compressed air. The pressure rating will be important to push or to lift the load using a pneumatic system. To depending on the load, how much load you need to lift, and depending on the area of the piston, you need to decide at what is the pressure you require. If the pressure drops less than that one, the required work will not going to be takes place. So to lift the load or those things, the pressure will be very important. We need to maintain the proper pressure. If we increase the pressure, it will hazardous to system. If we decrease the system, required actual work will not going to be complete. They act as an interlock and safety devices, and these valves will also work like an interlock, means direction control will not allow the fluid until you actuate, that will work like an interlock, right? Safety device, the pressure regulating valve, if the system pressure increase than the set pressure, it then to due to the safety of the system, the pressure will going to be reduced by a pressure regulating valve. So these are all valves are work like a safety valves also. Classifications of valves. Valves are classified into four principal groups according to their functions. The first one is direction control valve. We'll called in a I will call like a DCV, right? Then non-return valves, NRV, pressure control valves, PCV, and flow control valves, that will called as an FCV. These are the short forms used in industries to easy readability or easy to identify the components. The first one is direction control valves. The function of the direction control valve is to control the direction of flow in the pneumatic circuit. Direction control valves are used to start, stop, and regulate the direction of air flow and help in the distribution of air in the required line. The basic classifications of those direction control valves are based on the construction of the elements and based on the number of ports it has, right? Then based on method of actuation, how you are going to actuate that particular wall, then based on the size of the port, right, and based on the mounting style. These are other different classifications, right? So the direction control wall is used to start, stop and regulate the direction of fluid which is flow inside the inside this pneumatic system. With respect to the classification, with respect to the ports and position, you can see this picture. See in this one, this is how we'll decide on how we are going to call the identify the walls by using the symbols. See here, this first square indicates a one position and second square indicates the second position. Nothing but it has a, this wall has two positions, and we need to count in one position how many ports it has, nothing but how many openings it has. See, this will be the one opening and this end will be the other opening, so you can say two openings. So how you call, first we need to say how many ports it has, nothing but two ways, nothing but means two way, one side the fluid will come and one side it will go out, so it has a two ports. So it is the in and it will be the output. So in this one, and this works like an answers also. Anyway, it's not like you can flow from top to down or from uh, bottom to up also. The flow can takes place, right? So this will, in the first we'll say number of ports, we can say two ports, and how many positions. The first square is one position, second square is the second position. We'll call it as this one as 2 by 2, nothing but two ways and two positions, or two ports and two position direction control valve, right? See here, in first position these two are interconnected, in second position these two are disconnected or blocked. The fluid will not allow to flow in any direction. Say always the input will be specified as 1, nothing but the one number which need to connect from the compressor. The fluid is coming from the compressor, you need to connect, and output always will be the 2 and 4. Output will be always 2 and the 4 they will use, or if you wanted to use the alphabetics, right, then the input will be always a P, right, then output will be A and B. Right, if you come to the next one, see here we have a two positions. See how many squares, one square and the second square, it has a two positions. In one position you need to count how many ports it has. See, this one is 1 and this end is 2 and this one is 3, so it has a 3 ports. So 1 2 3, 3 ports, 1 position and 2 position, so it has a 3 by 2, 3 ports and 2 position direction control valve, right? And here you can see the difference. Okay, what is the difference between the second one and the third one? So both are 2 by 3 only. See, in this one also 1 2 and 3 ports you have, and one position means one square and two square or rectangle you can see. See, these are the two positions. Now what is the difference here? See, the initial condition always will be the first one, right, or will be the second one. Say, depending on the manufacturer, normally we will take this one as, right, initially the second position will be the basic position. From here we will actuate, from this end we will actuate, so the second position will be the what do you call, the basic initial condition. So in this one, initial condition is, see, pump port is blocked, nothing but we will say normally it is a closed valve. The pump port means it's not allowing a supply to the system, so it's normally closed stage. So we will call this one as 3 ports, 3 by 2 position, normally closed valve. So here it is, see, it is connected, 1 to 2 is get connected, so we'll call this one as normally open. So 3 by 2 normally open type of valve. Now next we can see fourth one, you have how many ports it has? 4 ports. See here, one is input here, 1 2 and 3 4, or you can see here 1 2 3 4. You need to count in only one square or rectangle box. So in one or uh, a square or rectangular box, you need to count. So 1, 2, 3, 4. So four ports and 2 position, 1 and the second position. So this one is 4 by 2. The wall type is 4 by 2. The next one is you have a, how many ports it has? It has a 5 ports. See here, 1, 2, 3 and here 4, 5. So normally always say, as I said, the outputs are A and B or 2 and 4. If you say alphabetics 2 and 4, or if it is a what do you call alphabetics A and B, numericals 2 and 4 will use. Now with respect to the supply, see always 1 indicates the pump input. For that reason they will use P. Next 3 and 5 are the return lines. R will be the return, right? S will be the, you can say that is also one more return, right? So we have a 2 return line, right? 1 input line. So this is a 5 ports it has and 2 position, 5 by 2 wall. So and then next one you have 5 by 3. See how 5 by 3, see here you have a 3 positions, nothing but 3 rectangles you can see. In the individual rectangle you have a port. See in the mid position 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So 5 ports it has and 3 positions. In these kind of like what he calls 3 position walls, or always it is under the initial condition will be middle configuration. What is the middle position it will show, right? That will be the initial condition. Depending on the actuation, the left side and the right side one will actuate. Clear? So in this one middle configuration is all ports are closed, not connected with to anything. If we come to the first position, see pump port is connected to 4 and from 2 it is interconnected to the 5. If you come to the third or second position, see here pump port will be connected to 2 port with respect to, see from pump to 2 is get connected, then 4 to yes, 3 is 4 to 5 is nothing but a return is connected and number 3 port is closed. This is how the we will identify the ports and position of the direction control valve. Different types of direction control valves with the symbols. See here in the first one is 2 by 2 direction control valve. Nothing but it has a 2 ports in one position and it has a 2 position. So it is a 2 by 2 direction control valve. They are normally closed. See initial condition is all the both the ports are closed here. So that will indicate the normally closed condition. Next we'll have the same kind of valve, but different is normally initial condition is normally open. So it is also 2 by 2 valve, but initial condition is normally open. Next we have here 3 by 2. Here earlier it was only 2 ports. In this valve we have a 3 ports and 2 positions, and the initial condition is again normally closed. Nothing but its pump port is closed. Nothing but the number 1, which is number 1 port which is closed, no, that will be indicates the pump port or compressor port that is closed. The second one is here 3 by 2 normally open, NOC normally open. See 1 to 2 is get connected, so from compressor to 2 port, the port second port will be connected to the actuator, that is connected each other, so it is going normally open. 3 by 2, see here we can see no, it is not the 3 by 2, it is a 3 by 3, 3 ports and 3 positions it has, 3 ports and 3 positions, so it will work only under the 3 ports it has, and it has a 3 positions. In the mid configuration all the ports are closed. Next we'll have a 4 by 2, so here we have a 4 ports in one position and it has a 2 position, will called as 4 by 2. Next we have a 4 by 3. So addition to this one, it has a additional 1 positions and number of ports are same. In the mid configuration is all ports are closed. Next we have a 4 by 3. So mid configuration change, nothing but 4 and 2. Both the output ports are connected to the exhaust and compressor port is blocked. Thus it is the mid configuration under 4 by 3. Next we'll have a 5 by 2. In a one position itself it has a 5 ports, right? We'll call it as 5 ports and 2 positions. So it is a 5 by 2. Here we'll have a 3 positions with the same 5 ports. But in the mid configuration all 5 ports are blocked. Yeah. Puppet direction control valve. There are two different types of direction control valves, nothing but with respect to the puppet. So normally the puppet valves, there are two types. One is a ball seat type valve and one is a disc type. Only this part is going to be changed. Nothing but when you say ball seat, there is a circular ball, right, with the pre-tensioned by a spring, or disc type will have a flat disc that is also pre-tensioned by the spring. In this sketch, we'll see the ball seat type of valve. See here, we can observe the construction. There is a ball which is connected to a lever, and that is, above that one there is a mushroom head button. If we push this one, this these two, the hatched part and the rod and the ball, these two are interconnected each other. When you push, then the ball will be pushed against the spring. That time what will happen, the closed port, nothing but the port is already now closed condition, that will open, because that will open, it will create the vent between the mating parts of the ball casing and ball and the casing against the springs. When you press this one, the ball will be pushed against the spring force. That time you will get a opening, the air which is supplied from the compressor, that will flow from port P to A until you hold the this button. In this you can see, the next sketch you can see here, the mushroom head button is pressed. When it is pressed against the spring force, you will get an opening so that air can flow through from pump to port B. So these will be like how till how much time you will hold by pressing, up to that much it is open. If you release that one, automatically it will, the valve will be under the closed condition. This will condense, that is the initial condition is normally closed. If you press against the spring force until you hold it, it will be open condition. So if you release it, automatically it will get closed. This is the one type of puppet valve with the ball seat type. Next we'll have the disc seat puppet. So here what we'll have, you can see the flat disc. This one will be the flat disc against the spring force. At one end we have a spring tension, in other end we have a one more spring attached to the same disc, but along with it there is a that will be pushing the actuator, that will be pushed away from the actuator will going to be tensioned there. So what will happen if you wanted to actuate? So in this we have a two ports. In this we have a two port, one input port compressor here, and two will be the output port, and three will be the exhaust port. See, at the initial condition is normally closed, means the air which is getting from the port 1 would not go anywhere. See, this condition, these points are blocked, so air will be blocked here itself. The air is now 2 to 3 is already in connection, because air which is get in from the 2, that will flow through the near this spring and it can have a opening. So what is the next thing then? How to close this opening? Now when you press this one against the spring force, right? See, this port will be closed here, means port number 3 will be closed. At the same time, this plunger will push the disc against the spring. What will happen? Then here the opening will going to be created. Through that opening, air will go from 1 to 2. So this is also until you hold this actuator by pressing till that the valve is under the open condition. If you release the actuator, automatically valve will going to be closed. So here in the symbols you can see you have a three ports. Initial condition is pump port is closed, nothing but actuator port is closed. So if you press this one, this plunger against the spring, so that 1 to 2 is get connected. 1 to 2 is get connected. Next, advantages. Advantages of puppet valve. See here, a response of puppet valve is very fast. The response from the puppet valve will be fast, and they give larger opening of the valves for small stroke. for a smaller actuation, but opening will give more. The valve seats are usually simple and elastic seals are going to be used, and so that the wear will be minimum. Wear rate of the moving components will be less. They are insensitive to dust and dirt, right? These are all insensitive to dust and, because the air will be the working medium, right? So while air going out, no, while air flowing through that one, it will clean the area, so it won't create any problem, because all are the mechanical components. So only the plunger and the disc and the uh, spring actuated, so these, the dust will not going to be the matter. They are robust, sits or self-cleaning, right? It's a robust means word, and seats are self-cleaning, because air while flowing through that one, automatically it will clean and go, right? The maintenance will be easy, right? Maintenance cost will be easy. There is no, the maintenance will be very less and economical. So because there is no more maintenance work means, then maintenance cost will not come into picture, so it will called as economical. They are inexpensive. When I say inexpensive, the manufacturing cost of the part will be less, because it has a very less moving components. There is no precision moving components, right? So that the cost of that particular part will be inexpensive, right? They are longer service life. They are going to be longer, because the wear rate of those components will be less, so the service life of that particular component will be more. And they are inexpensive. The components are inexpensive, already said. Then limitations for puppet valve is, they are noisy if their flow fluctuations are large. See, because the air flow in a high pressure, and if there is a fluctuation, due to this, the noise will going to be created. Then actuating force will be relatively high, as it is necessary to overcome the force of the built-in reset spring and the air pressure. See here, what is the force required to actuate that one valve should be more than the spring force, right? At the same time, to hold the hand, sometime in the pressure should be more than the air pressure, so the actuation force will be required more to actuate these kind of balls. Comparison with respect to the ball and seat disc ball. See, the ball seat type are expensive, because the precisely the circular bar we need to manufacture, and they are relatively small in size, right? When it's a small component, should be cost will be increased, and can be operated manually or mechanical only, right? Then if you come to the disc, they offer larger area, right? And lift require is small, the area will be more, and actuation you require very less, so that the air more opening can be created. Time response is good, so response time, because the opening will be more due to the large area it will not be covered. Even if a small opening will get a large airflow, so the time response will be good. They can be actuated by using mechanically, manually, electrically, or in pneumatically also. Next we'll have the spool type of direction control valve. Here this part will be the spool. Please observe, this will be the spool. This piston kind of arrangement, and this rod, and here also one more, right? This will called as a spool, and this will be connected to an actuation mechanism directly. This is a push button or something, so against the spring force it is now it is under the deactuated condition. Now 2 to 3 is get connection. So if we press this lever, so what will happen, the entire spool will be pushed against the spring force, so 1 to 2 will get connected. Automatically the same spool will going to be close the port number 3. So the spool, the circular spool itself work like it will close the spool port opening, and it will open the port, so that the required direction of the fluid flow is going to be achievable. So here you can see see as a spring, one end is the push button they are shown, nothing but, right? To actuate you need to press, and if you release, automatically due to the spring tension it will come back to its original position. Now in this one original position is see 2 to 3 is get connected. Near the spring side what you have, that block will be the initial block. So 2 to 3 is get connected. Port number 1 is under the closed condition. Port number 1 is under closed condition. In the next position 1 to 2 is get connected and port number 3 will be closed. So no exhaust here. Right? This is the spool type of direction control valve. Here also one more, the same spool type of direction control valve, but controlling by indirect method. Nothing but controlling by there. The direct method means directly the plunger will going to be pushed right against the spring force. Here the same piston itself is pushed by an pneumatic air supply. See here the pneumatic air supply is required to push. Pneumatic air supply is used to push. See here, if you give the air supply, pilot air supply will call. So that will be notation using the number 12 and the 14s are used for pilot signal. What will happen? The pilot air supply will be given. So that will push the spool of a wall. So what will happen that time? See here, initial condition 1, 2 to 3 is get connected. When the pilot signal given to the right side and against the spring force, 1 to 2 is connected. Till how much time you will hold the pilot air pressure? Here the air pressure should be more than the spring pressure. The spring it should be more than the spring pressure, so that only the air will push the spool against the spring and it will create a opening from 1 to 2 and the port number 3 will going to be closed condition. Port number 3 will be under the closed condition. This will be the indirect kind of spool actuation mechanism. The valve will be the same. The valve will say 3 ports and 2 position it has and spring return but operated by a pilot air signal or pilot operated valve will call it. Next we'll have one more type of valve, memory valve. See the memory valve, why we call this one as a memory valve? Because see there is no spring to push back the spool to its initial condition. See in the previous example you have seen there is a spring and at the other end. If the air pressure reduces automatically due to spring tension, it will come back to the valve will come back to its original position. Here the both side will be operated by the air pilot. See here also one actuation method by air, from here also actuation by air. So what will happen? So if this position you want, you need to supply the air pressure from this end, so that what will happen? 1 to 4 is get connected. See here, if air supply is given to the this end, right? So 1 to 4 will get connected at the same time. 2 to 3 get connected. See in this position 2 to 3. So see here 2 to 3 is get connected. Now if you wanted until you supply the air in this end or signal, if you give a signal to this end, this valve will not change its position. For that reason we'll call this as a memory valve. Nothing but it holds its position until you give a next signal. So what will happen? Next signal I supply the air pressure in this side. Means see here I supplied the air pressure in this side. What will happen? It will push this spool. When you push this spool, what will happen? See here 1 to 2 get 1 to 2 is get connected and the supply from 4 to 3 will get connected. 1 to 4, 1 to 2 and 4 to 3 will get connected. Even this condition also, until you supply the air pressure in other end, it will be under the same old condition. So for that reason we'll call this one as a memory valve. This one is a very basic component which used more circuits, right? Because this one also we can call it as an indirect actuation. It is an indirect actuation of a memory valve. Direct actuation is direct actuation mechanism, what you have lever at this one. So this one, to actuate this memory valve you require one more valve. You require one more valve. So from one more valve we need to supply the air from first valve to memory valve, so that memory valve will get actuated. Next, suspended disc valve. See here, the suspended disc is the spool the spool with a rod. This we will call as a suspended disc. So there is no connection at any end. So this will be suspended freely until you will supply the air to with this which end according to that one it will like it's like a memory valve only. So it is now the configuration is 4 by 2 position only. See here initial condition, if the air supplied in this condition, the disc if you push from this end, what will happen, the 1 to 4 is get connected and 2 to 3 is get connected. Now if you actuate in the disc from the right side end, then right 2 to 1 to 2 is get connected. Change the arrow mark please. 1 to 2 is get connected and the same way 4 to 3 is get connected. 4 to 3 is correct, but it is 1 to 2. The supply from always 1 will be the input supply. There is no return to 1. So return will be taken from 3, port number 3 or port number 5. So always 1 will be the input port, 4 and 2 are the output ports. So output ports only you need to connect it to the actuators. One put, the number 1 port should be connected to the compressor output, nothing but input from the compressor. 3 will be exhaust to the atmosphere. 3 and 5 because it is a pneumatic system, exhaust to atmosphere. If it is a hydraulic system, then you need to reconnect back to what you call your reservoir. Very important. You need to reconnect back to your reservoir. Continuation to the previous, let's see here the suspended disc direction control valve with the physical, how the component will looks physical. The previous one is a schematic sketch. This is the physical components, how it looks. See, this will be the suspended disc. See, this will be the suspended disc, right? And you can see now initial condition is 1 to 4 is get connected. 1 to 4 is get connected and 2 to 3 is get connected because the air supply is given from the 14 end, this end. The air given from this end, pilot signal, so that this configuration is actuated. The port number 5 is closed. See here, this will be your spool which is going to be pushed by an air supply, right? When you push this one, what will happen, that will push the suspended disc also. So 1 to 4 is get connected and 2 to 3. Right, then if we supply the air from the number 12 on the right side, then the suspended disc will be pushed towards the left side. So what will happen, 4 to 5 is get connected and 1 to 2 is get connected. 1 to 2 is get connected and the number 3 port will going to be closed. See, this will be closed like this. This disc, what will be, this gap will going to be pushed to this one, so that here will get a gap will be filled. The same port will be come up to this point and it is block the supply towards the port number 3. So 1 to 2 is get connected and 4 to 5. This is the return. 4 to 5 is return. 1 to 2 is the towards the application. This is the wall. You can see. Can you tell me the configuration? See here. How many ports you have? You can count 1, 2 and 3 ports plus 2 output ports. So total 5 ports it has. Say it has a 5 ports. And how many positions it has? So 2 squares. 1 and second. So 2 squares we have. So it has a 2 position. Then what about the actuation? See here, this one will be the pneumatic air supply. You can see the pilot signal number 14 and pilot signal number 12. These are all the input pilot signal until you give a input signal. If it is the initial condition, say example, now the 14 is given the supply. So until you give the next supply from port number 12, so it will be under the same condition, it won't change its condition. Means 1 to 4 is connected initial condition and 2 to 3 is get connected, nothing but the cylinder will be at the retract condition. Always 2 will be connected towards the piston end of the actuator and 4 will be connected towards the rod end of the connector. Nothing but 2 will be first outlet port and 4 will be second outlet port. And 5 and 3 are the return line or exhaust to the atmosphere line, and 1 will be the input, air from the compressor. and this symbol indicates the hard stopper. So it will be restrict. The spool will be disc will be restricted by the hard stoppers. So it won't move more than this. This is the indication, right? Next we have a methods of actuation. See how you are going to actuate those walls. You have seen the 2 by 2 walls, 2 by 3, 4 by 2, 4 by 3 and 5 by 2 and 5 by 3. So these walls will going to be actuated using the different mechanism. These are all the symbols which are used. See this one is the general, right, push button, general flat button, and this will be the push button mushroom head, and spring shows the spring return. If you both side of the square you have a spring, then it is a spring centered, and lever operated will look like this, and dented lever means here lever operated means in between you have a one more position. Dented lever has a in between the one position you have one more position, there it can lock, right? Next we'll have the foot pedal indicates. Next roller operated and idler roller. In the roller operated, if you have simply roller operated, the cylinder while moving both the direction will going valve will going to be actuated, but idler roller only one direction will going to be actuated, other direction idler roller will not allow the valve to actuate, right? Next, other than that, when you have a different kind of thing, see the mechanical, manual lever operated is a manual lever, and this open triangle will be called as a pneumatic signal, input signal. Then closed triangle with the darkened triangle will call hydraulic signal, and a rectangle with the two lines indicates, two line or single line indicates the electrical, nothing but a solenoid operated valve. Along with the rectangle, one inclined line and the triangle, it is a electro-pneumatic. So the wall can be actuated by using the electric signal, also along with that one pneumatic signal also. So thank you to watching my videos with respect to the DCET. All the best for your CET exam. For any information or any clarification, you can contact me in the number 9900092934, or you can mail me in above mail ID sandeepmysore07@gmail.com. Once again, thank you and all the best for your CET exam.